One day can change everything. And in modern history, that day has become August 8th, 2022. Welcome to Greg Kelly Reports. I'm John Tabacco, filling in for Greg tonight. August 8th used to be a date that meant nothing, just another hot summer day. But now it means everything. August 8th has truly changed America as we know it. August 8th, the day of the unprecedented raid on Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Yet another attempt at a witch hunt against the former president, since all the other attempts have failed. Last night, we learned from anonymous sources to the Washington Post that the FBI searched Mar-a-Lago to look for nuclear documents. Well, today, the search warrant issued prior to the raid has been released, raising more questions than answers. The three statutes listed on the warrant pertain to gathering, transmitting, or losing defense information, which I'm guessing is the nuclear documents the Washington Post article referenced. The other two statutes, concealment, removal, or mutilation generally, and destruction, alteration, or falsification of records in federal investigations and bankruptcy. Also included in the release was the receipt of property of all the boxes and documents seized by the FBI. Some things included a leather-bound folder, some handwritten notes, and a whole bunch of boxes. Seems like nothing crazy. In fact, some of these documents date way back to 2017. 5 years ago? What could possibly be in those boxes that the FBI and the DOJ don't already know or have? After the Mueller investigation, after impeachment number 1, after impeachment number 2, why now are they raiding his home for these documents? Similarly, if the Washington Post article is true, if they were looking for these potential nuclear documents, why would they wait 2 years to come looking for them? Trump didn't just move in Mar-a-Lago. He's been living there since January of 21. Besides asking why now, I have another question. Riddle me this. Why this way? Why do they need to raid the home of a former president? Like President Trump said in a statement, why didn't they just ask? They didn't need to seize anything. They could have had it any time they wanted. Without playing politics and breaking into Mar-a-Lago, they could have had it any time they wanted. And that includes long ago, and all they had to do was ask. All they had to do was ask, but they didn't, because they wanted an excuse to make this move. They wanted to escalate this situation to a point of no return. And you know, this reminds me of something like long ago that I learned in history class in 8th grade. In 49 BC, a famous phrase was born as Julius Caesar stood at the north end of the bridge about to enter Rome. He said to his troops, "Even yet, we may draw back, but when we cross the Rubicon of this little bridge, the whole issue is now by the sword." And my friends, by raiding the former president's home, they have crossed the Rubicon. And now, like Caesar, they're showing us all that the rule of law, as we know it, is gone. And all of it at the whim of Merrick Garland's sword. Merrick Garland, who stood up before America yesterday and acted as Mr. Tough Guy, claiming that it was him who signed the order to cross the Rubicon. Don't be fooled. Oh.
There are, however, certain points I want you to know. First, I personally approved the decision to seek a search warrant in this matter. Second, the department does not take such a decision lightly.
Don't be fooled, okay? Take it from this wise guy. Merrick Garland is no tough guy. While he may have been one, and who actually signed the paper, he merely caved under the pressure.
Why is Merrick Garland allowing this nonsense to continue?
He's such an institutionalist that maybe he's too afraid to go after Trump.
Merrick Garland, if you indict Trump, you'll be my person of the year, of the decade.
Caving to the pressure of not only Democrats, but of the fake news, Garland allowed America as we know it to change forever, because the rule of law will never be the same from this point forward. But during this announcement yesterday, I wonder, where was FBI Director Wray? Why would he let the Attorney General Garland stand up there all alone? Something here don't smell right. Because once again, we were left with more questions than answers. And it's supposed to be Garland's job to answer why, not to run and hide.
Thank you.
Attorney General, the former president said this
FBI agents?
Thank you all for your questions, but as I said, this is all I can say at this time.
If they could do this to a former president, they could do it to anyone. But they're forgetting one thing. The pendulum swings both ways. And I'm not saying that when Republicans get back in the White House, that this attack on political enemies will become the norm, despite the fact that Democrats have set the precedent. But I think they underestimated just how quickly the pendulum will come swinging back to them. In a recent poll, 83% of Republicans say they're more likely to vote in the 2022 midterms as a result of the FBI raid. This politicized raid against President Trump has awoken Americans to the unjust Justice Department, and it will become a decision that the FBI and the DOJ, in my humble opinion, will come to regret. This raid has backfired. Americans are more ready than ever to fight for what's just. One day, August 8th, has truly changed the course of history. It is the day the Rubicon was crossed and the pendulum began swinging back to them. There's one more thing that's been bothering me about this raid, which they claim is all about presidential records in the National Archive. It all stems from the Presidential Records Act, which, by the way, has never been used before. So again, why now? It's because they're scared. They're scared of Trump. How much the American people love him. In the Presidential Records Act, which reads, whoever having the custody of any such record, proceeding, map, book, document, paper, or other thing, willfully and unlawfully conceals, removes, mutilates, obliterates, falsifies, or destroys the same, shall forfeit his office and be disqualified from holding any office under the United States. Ha-ha! There you have it. They're using the sham raid to find a way to stop President Trump from becoming president again. They're hoping the raid will turn up something that's just enough to keep him out of office. I mean, they've been telling us about this plan for years. I guess we just haven't taken it seriously.
I will do everything I can to ensure that the former president never again gets anywhere near the Oval Office.
I hope the American people can see that a man like this doesn't belong anywhere near the Oval Office.
There is nothing more important she will ever do than lead the effort to make sure Donald Trump is never again near the Oval Office.
I don't know why that Dick Cheney thing always reminds me of a Saturday Night Live skit, but this is proven to be just another witch hunt against President Trump to keep him from where I think he belongs, in the White House. After the failed Russia collusion hoax, both impeachments, attempt to turn January 6th into the worst day in history, and now this, they're proving they will do anything to hurt Donald J. Trump. But we're not going to let that happen. The pendulum is swinging back. Americans are waking up, and we're ready to fight for what is right.
J.P. Morgan's CEO is warning that an economic hurricane is coming. Are you preparing? If you don't do anything, your 401k could be a 201k, and that is not good. So call our trusted friends at Lear Capital. For 25 years, Lear has helped investors own gold to protect against market chaos. It's a good thing. They can help you too. Get your information and up to $15,000 in bonus IRA gold. Just call this number, 800-880-4300. That's 800-880-4300.